This drill is our wing drill. I'm using, instead of a triangle or a tripod position where I'm stepping forward and stepping forward each time, I'm now stepping back at an angle. So I'm coming here. That's taking me offline. So one of the things that a buddy of mine, Phil Norman, will say, he's a kickboxing coach that does the Ghost system in London, in the London area. He says, get off the railroad tracks. You don't want to be on the railroad tracks. So I'm getting off the tracks. I'm stepping out at an angle. Now, from Savate, one of the drills that we do, or one of the things we do, is we do a lot of techniques where I'm moving side to side. So I'm going to step back, working in my tripod position. I'm now at the point. I'm stepping back. I'm stepping straight across, and then I step back in. So I'm moving out of range, to the side, across, and then back into the center again. For my wing drill, I'm holding my weapon here, so I'm making another triangle above me. My hand is going to rest on the back of my hand with the weapon in it. So my free hand is going to be here. My weapon is going to lay along my forearm. I do not like this position. If I'm here, the kinetic energy from my opponent's strike will go right through my stick and into my arm. It may not break my arm. This may save my arm from breaking, but it's still going to hurt a lot. So I don't necessarily like that position, but there are times when we use it. This is one of those times. So from here, my weapon will be on the ground to start, and once I start the drill, it will be up almost the entire time. I'm going to roll it back. I'll step backward to create a little distance between myself and my opponent. They may be striking at me, or I may decide this is just the time to attack. But whatever's happening, probably their hands will be out in front of them. I'll roll my weapon over, I'll step back, and this is a reverse wing. So my weapon is down at this angle here. I've still got a good grip of my weapon. I'm not going to hold it like this. I know that a lot of people will let that weapon go. But I promise from doing a lot of stick fighting, once you let go of your grip, somebody's going to hit that weapon and they're going to knock it out of your hand. It doesn't matter what kind of weapon it is. So from here, I'm stepping back and I'm defending up, or I step back and instead of a defense, this is an attack. I can go under the chin, or even better, I'm stepping back and I'm going to the hand as they're striking out at me. Now, if they have a big curve on their cane, that may be difficult to do. Their hand may be protected. So then I may go to the arm. But I'm back far enough that the weapon can no longer hit me as it reaches out. And then I'm taking that lead hand, that weapon hand. Or again, I'm defending. So I'm stepping back. My weapon comes up. From here, I'll step across. My hand is on the back of my weapon hand. I'm winging, so it's laying across the bottom. And I'll step in. I'm going to grab my wrist now, and I'm going to strike across the face. Boom. To do half of this drill, to do that 3-point drill, I'm going to step back up. After I hit, my weapon will drop back down, and I'll do the same thing again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and back in. Again, using that triangle footwork. I'm stepping back at an angle, I'm stepping across to the other side, and I'm going across. Dropping my weapon again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and up. 1, 2, and down, maybe. 1, 2, maybe I go to the kneecap. But I'm working that triangle, doing my footwork. Very important to start your footwork right now. And I've got up, over, and as I step forward, down. I switch feet, up and back again, and the drill starts over. So that's half of the drill. The other half of the drill. Same thing on the other side, but I'm changing hands. So work that on both sides to start, and then put the changeover in it. So you're doing the exact same thing from this side. I step back, up, defend, and hit. And then up, defend, hit. Up, defend, hit. And then I just put those together. So I'm going to go up, defend, step in and hit, bam. I can either switch hands. Here's how I start walking my stick. Here's how I switch from here. I just roll around my hand. My fingers will come here, and I'll change over. So now I'm still using the tip of the stick, especially if I've got a cap on the end. 1, 2, 3. I change over. 1, 2, bam. Change over. 1, 2, hit. Or, same thing. 1, 2, 3, and I slide down. Again, now I'm walking my stick. I'm walking from one end to the other. And up, defend, on through. Slide down. Up, defend, hit. 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 And then I can switch feet and start over this way. 1, 2, 3. I rock down. 1, 2, 3. I change hands. 1, 2, 3. I change feet instead. So I'm just doing that one side. All right, so that is our wing 3 or 6 count drill, depending on if you do both sides or just one. Start with the first side, get that down, switch hands, do the other side to get that other hand rocking, and then put those together. Again, the way that you switch, if I'm going from one side to the other, is just up and back. So I'm just finishing out my triangle footwork. If not, if I'm changing hands, then I go back, over, and up, back, over, and up again. All right, try that one. All right, this time let's give you a little bit better view of the footwork on this. It's just a triangle. You really can't screw it up too much. I guess you can. And when you're working this drill with a partner, what you will find is your partner will try to mirror you. They are not mirroring you. They're going opposite. They're stepping back with their left leg, they're stepping across with their right leg, and they're stepping back into the center with their left leg. And they step back with their left leg, they step over with their left leg, and they step forward with their right leg. What will happen, and it's just a thing in your mind, it just clicks in, is they're stepping that direction, their partner will step that direction also. And now it just doesn't seem to work. And what I'll normally say is, it doesn't feel right, does it? No, it doesn't, coach. What's the problem? I don't know. And it's always your footwork. 99% of the time, the problem is your footwork. So tell them to check their footwork. They know what to do, hopefully, because you've shown them that. But that's what the problem is going to be. Okay, so same thing. Turn around here, Bob. Same footwork, same motions. But this time, instead of doing my wing here, I'm going to do a roof. Now, I don't like necessarily holding my weapon like this at a long range. Again, because my fingers are so easy to hit. I'm not going to wrap my hand around at a long range because that's their target. My hands are their targets anyway. Those are the easiest things to hit. And some of the martial arts systems, especially the Filipino martial arts systems, they say if you defang the snake, it can't bite you, so destroy the fang. And that's what happens. If my hands are out here, pop, I am trying to destroy my opponent's fingers. And it doesn't take a whole lot. I was sparring around with a buddy of mine several years ago, and we had this exchange. Nothing really happened. We're laughing about it because, you know, we threw, I don't know, 10, 15 different techniques each, and nothing got in. We were this far away from each other. And as he's walking away, he just goes stink with his weapon, just kind of to throw it back there, just as something funny to do. And he hit my pinky, and it broke my pinky. And my next strike, I slammed in, and I couldn't hold onto my weapon, and it slid right out of my hand. And back on the other side of our mirror over there, it hit just like this. And as it was flying through the air, I knew it was coming out as soon as I threw. As it was going through the air like a spear, I just kept thinking, don't hit my mirror. Don't hit. These are $1,000, $1,200 mirrors. I do not want to break one of these mirrors. I am screwed. Luckily, it hit about this far away from the mirror. And then I thought, okay, if it goes to the wall, I can replace that. I can patch that up. It didn't. It just bounced off. But my weapon just flew right out of my hand. I had no choice. So, protect those hands. As you're sparring, get some big gloves. The gloves that we use come from KIL, K-I-L, Combat Instruments Limited. One of my old students, Nick Papadakis, runs it. Go to bloodsport.com. They've got all of your fencing headgear. They've got gloves. They've got chest pads if you want to use those. We normally don't. They don't seem to work a whole lot. They'll cushion things a little bit, but you still get hit. Anyway, you can do that, and you can get all kinds of cool gear there. And it allows you to actually work your techniques with a little bit more authority. If you've got a fencing mask on and you get hit in the face, even if you're not getting hit hard, it still allows you to hit the person in the face. If not, those foam weapons, those foam swords, kind of works the same way. You can use them the same way, but you get to actually make some contact on those hands, so you're getting your timing and your distance and your accuracy down. That's very important when you're working with a weapon that's this long. Okay, so now we're going through our roof drill. From here, just doing it in front of you, same thing. I'm going to strike up. As I step over, my fingers are going to be laying backward, and I'm going to defend up. I still don't like this because it's difficult to get your fingers out of the way. Even if you do this or something else, there's a chance you're going to get those fingers wrapped. If I'm here, hopefully it won't be too bad, especially if I've got gloves on, but you got to practice it like this. One, and then I'm doing a roof, so it's right up over the top of my head. And from here, as I step in, I'm going to grab on and I'm going to stab in. If I change sides, I'll come up, bink, here, and since my hand's already in that position, I'm going to step in and use the butt strike or the tip and drive it in. So it'll look like this. Same as before, back at my angle, boom, defend high, come in, and hit into the chest. I can either switch feet, up, back again, and same thing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Or I can change it. I can switch it around. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, and I rock from this side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Or I can switch. 1, 2, 3. Basically the same drill as we were doing our wing, but I'm coming here, I'm stabbing in, bink, and then I'm switching over to the other hand, or I'm rolling it, still using my triangle footwork, going outside, across to this side, and back in. And that stepping to the other side works really well, especially if your opponent is used to working with just one hand, and you'll be able to tell that pretty quick. When I switch from here, step over, if they're used to using this hand, it makes it difficult for them. So what they have to do, if that's the case, they've got to start to circle me, which takes a second. And that gives me an opportunity to start hitting it. And again, this from right here, this can change. I can go 1, 2, bam, under the chin. I can go 1, 2, straight in. I can go 1, 2, and then I can walk back down to this end. And I can golf club in. So play around with those. Change them up a little bit. See what works well for you. See what your students like. See what you like. And just go nuts. All right. Try that. Okay, this is our last drill for this set. We've gone with a wing. We've gone with a roof. Next we're going to go with an umbrella. The umbrella will go around our head. So as I hit, step over, I'm going to come around my head. And you see this a lot in English fighting, in broadsword fighting, or working with the saber in Chinese Kung Fu. You see the weapon come around and it defends the person's back as they come through. So I'm fighting you, maybe you're striking in, and I'm coming around again in the same direction, or maybe there's somebody behind me, and again I'm fighting the person in front, but I'm defending and then hitting out to the front again. So my umbrella will do two things. Number one, it goes all the way around my head. Number two, I use my shoulder and my neck as a teeter-totter, as my fulcrum. And that's going to give me a little extra power as I come through here. Just around, wham, around, wham, around, bam. So I'm going to go up, around, and hit in. And again, I can hit low, high, to the middle. I can bring it around, and after the hit, I can change hands, do the same thing on the other side. So it's the same as the other drills. Works like this. Slowly. Same position, just kind of standing here naturally. Roll in, I step back. It's the same uppercut. Boom. I come around. I'll explain why this hand goes out in front in a little bit, but for now, I'm stepping back in, and let's hit to the leg this time. From here, boom. I'll change. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I change hands. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. To the chin, around, to the leg, to the chin, around, to the leg, and I just switch back and forth each time. I change hands. Just changing that block a little bit. Everything else exactly the same. All right. Try that one.